Welcome to the Reckless Experience with Mark podcast with your host, Mark Vickery. This is a podcast about life, the show that brings you the know-how, the how-to, and the WTF. Each week, discussing daily life with interviews of people you really want to know. Now, here's your host, Mark Slick Vickery.
Welcome to the Reckless Experience with Mark podcast. I'm your host, Mark Slick Vickery.
So what I want to talk to you today is about the Freedom Convoy. I will let you know this podcast is not something I normally do on this type of topic. I may mention it in my podcast, but not in depth like this. I'm also not going to edit this. I'm literally recording this on my iPhone and sitting in my car. I basically just want to express my concern and share information, and I'm hoping that you can go to my Facebook page or any of my social media pages, The Reckless Experience with Mark, and express your opinions, preferably being polite about it, of course. Don't bash or anything like that. I will tell you that we did have the option a few months ago when we had voting. Mandates were on the agenda. So we could have voted against that. I believe a majority of people did not vote. So that's part of the problem, is people just don't vote. We could have great change and a more reliable government if we just voted. Anyhow, that's for a different story. What I'd like to let people know is this podcast is more or less just passing on information and letting people know to do their research, use some common sense, and really think about what they're doing before they do it. There's a lot more to this movement than the supporters are actually taking the time to see. So, with that being said, let's get started.
Just wanted to bring you this bonus episode so we could talk about the Freedom Convoy. This is something that's really, it's really got some Canadian pride going, and I can respect that. However, it's kind of bullshit, to be honest with you. But I will tell you, my wife and I were both very sick in the first wave. This is very real. Yes, this wave obviously isn't that bad for people that aren't compromised with old age or other health concerns. But that doesn't mean the next one won't be. I do believe the government really doesn't know which end is up. I do believe they're trying to please everybody. You know, it doesn't matter if they didn't shut anything down and didn't do any mandates. You know as well as I do, people would be protesting. Why isn't the government doing anything? Oh, they don't care about their citizens. And now when the government tries to do stuff, everybody's like, oh, you're controlling us. This isn't a communist country. Well, I hate to break it to you, fucking snowflakes. This is a governed country. We have laws, we have rules, we have mandates. And a majority of us follow them. Maybe not to a T, but we do respect them and understand why they're there. If you don't have these, you have chaos. Have you ever watched The Walking Dead? That's fucking chaos. You think it'll be a better fucking country without all these rules and laws? Maybe so, but I highly fucking doubt it. Look, I don't like the mandates as much as the next person. I do respect the fact the government is trying, But I do believe they too have been led astray. They're trying to listen to the people. So it really makes it confusing when they keep changing things. They open, they close, they open, they close. It definitely is time that our Prime Minister step down. I do believe he is a good politician, but he's not well liked, and I believe he's not for the people. Unless, of course, the people are all the millionaires. However, unless we get our asses off the couch and we go vote, you ain't gonna have change. I work hard for a living. I vote. I try to make a difference. But like I said, if you don't get off your ass and go vote to make that change, then how do you expect change to happen? By protesting? All you do when you protest the way people have been protesting lately is, well, pissing people off. I get it. Protesting is part of our right, and I agree. However, the moment you start blocking everyday citizens from doing what they enjoy or going to and from work, you are pissing people off. That is not the way to get supporters. If you think the government will bend over because you're inconveniencing a majority of its people, you're dead wrong. How many people in that Freedom Convoy are actual truckers that lost their job due to mandates or are trying to support the cause for the truckers? Probably not as many as you think. The organizers and the people involved online and in person for this event are the same people that are strictly about taking over the countries, causing chaos, that they feel that there should be zero government. I call it the Walking Dead syndrome. Too many people have watched it and they think they could have a better government in control than what the actual government does. Honestly, I am proud to see so many Canadians supporting the truckers. It's been a long time coming. We, as Canadians, are proud people, and we like to come together as Canadians do. I can respect that. Seeing all the farm tractors out off the 401 outside Aberfoyle in Southern Ontario was very heartfelt for me. I like that. Out there supporting the truckers. But like I said, there are other groups that have led those truckers astray and have influenced this whole mandate propaganda stuff. Like, you have to do your research and you have to leave your emotions aside. Look it up on the internet, see who's involved, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. I originally came out today with a full script. I wanted to do something, get people engaged and involved, but I think people are going to do what they want. I don't believe that there's good intentions with the truck convoy organizers. There was a little bit of problems with their funding they got raised. Good for them. They raised a lot of money. Think twice before you start giving your money to people you don't know. You think it's a good cause. Freedom Convoy, get rid of all the mandates, go back to the way it was. Sure, I'll give you $20, I'll give you $2,500, sure. But then you realize after the fact, oh shit, who did I just give my money to? Right? There's a reason why GoFundMe held it. The organizer came out with a statement on the GoFundMe page that it's a procedure that they do when they raise that much money that fast. But that's not the full story. If you looked at that page every single day, you would have seen other statements where a certain Racists, where the podcast is very involved with this group, was also working with them in some of the areas that they were organizing. And GoFundMe wanted nothing to do with that, and they held the funds until they could verify a plan of action for those funds. So now, another organizer is involved and on that title as far as financial control side of it. They have a plan of action. They have released some funds, which is great. Those truckers that are spending their last dime to get there and support themselves are able to get fuel and food and lodging. Perfect. The main organizer made a statement on the GoFundMe page that this person was not involved whatsoever. And then the next day, she removed it. And that certain person made a live video cast on his podcast that she only did that to save face with the government and GoFundMe. And he showed communication via Facebook Messenger and social media that he was part of the planning stages of this event. So I guess he's a little angry that he got ousted, but it is what it is. So when it comes down to it, you really need to think twice about who you're giving your money to. Especially now, this day and age, everything's so expensive, things are tight. A lot of us don't have that extra money to give away, especially when we don't know what it's going to be used for. So think about this. It started off 1,000 trucks, then it went all the way up to 50,000 trucks. I don't know if many of you have been to Ottawa. I have, many times. And I will tell you, there isn't too many places downtown or in Parliament area that big rigs can go safely and without disrupting any traffic. So with that being said, their plan, as they stated, is to disrupt and cause problems. Well, why? Why are you going to disrupt and cause problems to the everyday working man and the people that live down there? Parliament's not even in session. There's minimal, if any, political leaders on site. Even if you stayed there for a week, you know they're just not going to go into session because of the threats. So the Parliament police sent out a warning to all the politicians as they received threats from people that claimed they were going to be there. They also claimed that they are going to go to these politicians' homes. These people are there doing a job, just like you and I. They work their way up to a position where they can make a difference. You know what? Some of them, they just crash and fail, but some of them, they succeed and they do well for us. Everybody wakes up thinking that everything's just handed to them this way. No one worked hard to get it where it is. Well, you're wrong. These people that work in the government agencies, they work fucking hard to do what they're doing. The health officers, well, you think they're just puppets? Sure, maybe they're following scripts that were written by somebody else, as most politicians do. But most of them are there to do well. I know a couple of these health officers personally across Canada, and I will tell you, they are good people. And they mean well. But trying to please everybody in a country, in the world, that's not going to happen. It doesn't matter. Like I said in the beginning, you try to please one group, you piss the other group off. It's just not going to happen. So us as Canadians, if you believe Canada is influenced by if Canadians are influenced by the American way when it comes to anti-government and racial influences, go to my Facebook page, The Reckless Experience with Mark, and make a comment. Be good. I won't tolerate any racial or drama on the page. It's there simply to pass on information and share thoughts. That's it. I'm not trying to rock the boat. I'm not a anti this, anti that, and I'm going to try to stay neutral with everybody, with both sides. I just want people to be aware that this isn't what it seems to be. For those of you in history, they know the Trojan horse, and some of us do believe that this just might be that. Whether it's successful, that's a different story. I'm hoping that everything stays peaceful and they don't disrupt too much, because I don't believe that this is going to help anything. I will tell you, as of Monday, I believe 3 provinces, which include Ontario, are actually cutting back restrictions. So it kind of makes this movement a little mute, a little late. However, for those of you that have looked deep into it, you'll see that this group, Canada Unity, has written a document on what they want to happen. They actually want to be part of the government and the people involved. We already have all this. People can get involved. It's the people that want to do this, what they're trying to relay in this contract or this document is just, it's horse shit. Take the time to read it. Look it up. It's easy to find. I'm not going to spoon feed it to you. I read it last night. I was up pretty damn late reading this. And actually I was going to record this last night, but I got reading this letter, and a lawmaker had read it and made his public post that it looked like a 14-year-old wrote it. Well, I hate to say it. If somebody wrote it, wasn't too smart. I don't think so. Maybe they were just angry when they were writing it, but it's definitely not something that, maybe it's something that the everyday Joe can understand. I can understand that. But I will tell you, it's not something that I would want to see in our government documents and stuff. As a working stiff, I definitely wouldn't want that. So, anyways, take the time to read it. Just look up the document from Canada Unity, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not just them. There's organizing it. Gave me a bad taste in my mouth. I am familiar with them from other stories that I've read. It really made me cringe to think that they might be taking advantage of our good, hardworking Canadian truckers. With that being said, I will tell you, if you can't go over the border because you're not vaccinated and you want it changed, remember the U.S. has the same rules and mandates. So even if we lifted everything, they'd have to do the same, or you're still going to be stuck in the same position. There's lots of truck driver jobs within Canada. There's no reason that you can't find other work. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have had to lose your job because you didn't get vaccinated. I totally understand that. However, I will tell you that my first priority, if I were to lose my job, would be to find another one to support myself and my family. But cross Canada drive, that would be fun too. I've done it. It's great. I highly recommend it. But I don't have a lot of faith in what's happening right now. Like I said, I support the Canadians for coming together. Canadian pride. I thought that was gone, but I'm glad to see it's there. And I will tell you that it's very heartwarming to see that. but I think we're being misled. Remember, not everybody is as open and honest as your closest friends and family. Everybody has an agenda. These people that think, oh, the vaccines are poison, they're trying to control us. Really? Really? What, do you think this is a movie? What, do you think they want everybody to act like fucking zombies and work and build things for them? No. The fucking government wants you to work. They want you to fucking spend money. Use your fucking head. Of course they want us working. They want businesses open. They don't make any money without it. And this world revolves around money. Get your head out of your ass and think about that. The government does not want your business closed. They want it open. They want people to spend money in your store. Why? Because they make money. Think about that. But there'll always be people out there that watch too much TV, that think all the planes in the air are poisoning people with their chemtrails, and the government's out to control us because they've watched too many movies. I'll be honest with you, I've been to many other countries in the world. I'll tell you what, you should be grateful you live in North America. There is a reason, and I'm telling you this, there's a reason why all these refugees and stuff want to come to Canada. Think about it. I mean, the government's not purposely bringing them over to have, slave labor and all this other shit that I keep reading online, or to take over. They want more people here. They want more people working. They want more people spending money. It makes them money. The reason everybody wants to come here is because we have freedom. We have that freedom because we have rules and laws. People are misunderstanding the whole concept. If you want true freedom, you don't want to have a license or a SIN number or have to work for a living. You just want to do your own fucking thing. You can do that. Yeah. Holy fuck, right? You can do that. I know many people that do it. They live off the grid. They do what the fuck they want. They don't have a license. They don't have medical cards, social insurance cards. Oh, wait. Did I just say that? Oh, they don't have medical cards or a SIN number. Do you know what happens when you don't have any of that? You gotta pay for everything. Think about that. And my friends that live off the grid, trust me, they think about it all the time. And they're always trying to bum money to pay for things. I'd love to live off grid. It was a dream of mine not to have a job and live off the land. You know what? That dream, it's great for a while. And then reality strikes in. Some people can be successful with it. And kudos to them. I personally am proud of them for being successful. A little jealous? Yes. Honestly, people, do your research. I hate to see good people misled. Many of you are good people. Do not let, whether it's the government or this group or other groups, don't let them mislead you. Do your research. The media has their own way of spilling things out. The media is, they do give vital information, but they tend to flourish on certain things that sell papers and sell news ad feeds and stuff. You have to understand, they have to make a living too. That's the way it works. The government, I'm sure, has a little bit of control. Well, we know they do in certain media outlets, but like I said, social media time, this time in our lives, is it's a freedom to research whatever you want. But now comes the big task, is sorting through that research to see what's true, what's just propaganda, or what's plain out misleading lies. Remember, just because you see a news feed on someone's Facebook post does not mean that is real. I mess around a little bit in video editing, so I do know I could take a newscast studio and I could put whoever I want in that studio, and I can put whatever words I want on the screen, and I can put that newscast out there, and people are going to believe it's real. So that's the technology today. So remember that when you read a post that someone's edited with Photoshop or video editing, understand that you need to do your research, because it may not be true. But a majority of the people read stuff online and they automatically jump to conclusions. I'm going to support them because the government's, they're a fraud and blah, blah, blah. Like, get your head out of your ass. Stop being so eager to drop the government and to drop this thing with mandates and stuff. You know what? They're trying their best. They fucked it up many times. I get it. They're giving money to businesses that are closed. I know it may not be a lot, but it's something. Instead of protesting and going against mandates and getting charged and doing stupid things, go to your local MPs. Be professional. As a business owner, you need to be professional. If you approach them professionally, they'll treat you professionally. Think about that. Look, another thing. I like the gym. I have a few acquaintances and friends that own gyms or work at gyms. I will tell you that, honestly, people are upset the gyms are closed in certain areas, but the casinos are open and the liquor stores are open. Well, I'm going to give you some outlook here. In a gym, when you're working out, many people keep to themselves. They're not out there huffing and puffing and spitting and yelling and grunting and groaning while they're pounding back weights. I get it. Some of them are just doing elliptical trainers and bikes and whatever else. But you gotta remember, you're sweating, you're expelling fluids out of your mouth and stuff when you breathe out. So there's a bit more of a risk of you catching something or spreading something, whether you're vaccinated or not. The vaccine does help to a certain limit. It does not last long in your body, which is unfortunate. It's similar to a flu vaccine because of the type of virus it is. So like a flu vaccine, you'll probably have to get it every year if you're compromised. Some of us are, some of us aren't, so you may not have to. I've never had to get a flu shot, so you see where I'm going with that. Anyways, back to the gyms and the casinos and the liquor stores. A casino and a liquor store, people go in. At a casino, they sit on their ass, they play slots, whatever. They're spaced apart accordingly. They're not spitting and whatever else on everybody. They're wearing masks. The liquor store, people go in, they get out, right? Buy their booze. They got to have some sanity. That's why they drink. I drink too, for that very reason. Plus, I enjoy it. The other thing is those two businesses, casinos and liquor stores, make the government money. Think about that. They make more money for the government than your local business. However, how do you think the government is going to pay all of us to stay home all the time and pay for all this COVID crap? They need to have an income for that reason. If they don't, they are going to tax the shit out of us even more. Think about that. Do your research. Use some common sense. Holy fuck. Those are loaded words, aren't they? Common sense. Tell ya, I'm an anal, retentive douche knuckle when it comes to common sense. It drives me insane to see how many adults, educated or not, have no common sense. Hey, I'm not perfect, but I'll tell you, I think before I act in most cases, at least half, right? You really need to do your research before you jump on the bandwagons with the next fad. Like I said, this Convoy definitely has something going on. So I'm going to follow up this after the weekend with another bonus episode on the Reckless Experience with Mark. We'll see where we're at. If anybody has anything to add or if you wish to comment, like I said, I'm not going to tolerate bashing or anything racism or anything like that. If you just want to comment and share your thoughts and information, go to my Facebook page, The Reckless Experience with Mark. I also have Instagram and Twitter, same names, so you're welcome to check it out, make a post. Subscribe to this podcast so you can stay updated. It would be much appreciated. Let me know what you think. All right. Again, I'm your host, Mark Slick Vickery, and this is the Reckless Experience with Mark. Be safe out there. Be kind. And please, don't be a fucking twat.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Reckless Experience with Mark. Be sure to visit our website at www.recklessexperience.com, where you can subscribe so you'll never miss a show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And be sure to tune in next week for our next episode, the know-how, the how-to, and the WTF.